Yo guys, what up? Me, Patrick LeVar. So back again here quickly. I always post these videos here, these little quick 1-minute practices, and I always get a lot of questions on how am I making it look like a movie, or how am I getting that filmic look. And a lot of people wonder about my color grade and what kind of LUTs am I using and stuff like that. And honestly, I'm going to say that is a small percentage of it, but the most biggest thing is the lighting, guys. The lighting, I'm trying to keep my lighting levels not that very high, basically, on the histogram scale. So quickly, if I jump in here and if I look, let me get to one of my brightest shots here, which was this one. Here you see I have this scope here. It basically shows me all my color values, my red, my green, my blues, color values in the form of a graph, and all the way up here being the brightest point, and all the way down to 0 being the darkest points, shadows, and then highlights. What I typically try to do is keep my highest points in the middle. You can see there's like a middle line here. That's kind of like, I don't know what that exactly represents, but I try to keep my stuff about there or a little bit higher. I don't like to go above 7. It depends. It's a day shot. It's going to be a little bit different. But I always try to avoid any of my footage being shot up here, this clipping line. And I think that's one big contributor to why I can get that filmic look, because a lot of big movies don't clip up into this zone here. For example, let's see if I can load in a clip from like a movie, and then let's see where it falls in on the graph. Let me jump in here and find out where I have some footage here. I think I have some shots from Blade Runner, the movie. Alright guys, so I grabbed a couple shots from Blade Runner, right? One of my favorite movies. And here's one of the shots. Okay, this is a night shot. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to drag this onto the timeline here. And let's just jump into it and basically take a look on the scopes and see where it falls. Now check it out. This is a Hollywood blockbuster movie, right? And how come it seems like I have my other image in the background there? I can see it. But anyways, if you look here, look at the levels. Look where they're sitting. They're sitting almost below that 512 line. Again, compared to one of my dark scenes here, again, one of my night shots. And this one's a little bit bright because we got a lot of brightness here and here. But it's still, mine is just barely under 640. And then you go back to here, take a look at that. It's sitting pretty low, right? I think this is what really gets a lot of people like, wow, why does that look so filmic? And you know, they think it's the LUTs and the color grading. It's really not that much about the LUTs and the color grading. It's more of the lighting that when I recorded the original video. Let's grab another still here. Oh, okay, I see why it's showing both of them. Let's just move this off to the side here. Here's a day shot. Let's see here. It's a lot more brighter in this shot here. And again, let's go ahead and jump in and see where that's falling at on the scopes. Now here's a day, forest scene shot. It's kind of bright. Here, there's a still way underneath this line here, this max line. It's still like 738. It's in the depth. And you can even see where the black levels sit. The black levels are kind of high too. We got a little bit of down here, but the black levels are even above 0. Now, let me go to one of my brighter scenes here, which was this one. And you can see again on my bright scene here, which has got this supermarket. I brought my blacks up, which this line shows the limit of the actual image, but I brought my blacks up, and even still my height is still way under. I'm about 5'12". I was trying to keep everything in the middle when I originally shot my footage. And the way that I control that is like if I jump into, let's see here on this clip, up here in the top, you'll see there's this is a histogram. And it basically shows me my light levels. I try to, when I'm filming or when recording, I'm trying to keep everything in the middle as possible. I really don't want anything over here in this box here. That's just blown out. It's hard to do that, to keep everything in the middle, but I try to keep majority of my image in this middle, like this upper part here to this part here where the yellow is to where this turquoise, there's aqua color is. I try to keep everything in there. And I think that really helps me to try to get that filmic look. Let's quickly take another look at another image from Blade Runner. Something a little bit, here we go, is another more bright image. This scene here. pretty bright. It looks bright to us, but let's see where it falls on the scopes. Okay, now this is like here again, we got these bright LED lights, and even still, that is well under, it's well under this top here, this 1030. This one is 896, but then the black levels are totally lifted up, right? So that's why it looks so faded here on the edges. We don't really see a true black, you know, because everything is lifted up and they've got the reds there. So, big tip here, if when you're out filming, try to keep those levels. You load up your histogram. You can do that in Filmic Pro. You can do it in MC Pro. And you got to monitor where your levels are as far as light. And that's how I can kind of get, you know, see here, I brought my blacks up a little. And I'm still here in the middle. Again, trying to find that happy ground. As far as color grading, I didn't really do any big color grading here. On this node here, I basically brought up my blacks here. I lifted up my blacks because they were a little bit crushed, you know. So if I go into my color wheel, and you know, it would sit more down like here, I basically lifted those up a little bit. And then what I even did was I brought up my mids a little bit more, because they were, again, if I was just to reset this quickly, this was what it originally looked like when I brought it in straight up, right? And then again, like I said, I just come in here, I lift up my black so they're not clipping, I'll bring up my middle gamma, and then the highlights here, this controls the highlights. Sometimes I pull it down, depends on the shot, and I don't want to lose data as much as possible. And then my second node here is just a LUT, which I used this standard, it's a LUT from Blade Runner, but I have it in so light that you can't even really tell. I have it in at 0.7, so it just really just gave a little bit of color to these shadows. It didn't really make a big difference. Hang on, I can't remember if it was Alt-S in this one, or, oh, I just saved, I didn't want to do that, whatever. Alt-D? Oh, there it is, D. You can see, now that I left this marker here, it's in the way, but you can see here's with it and here's with it off. I mean, here's with it on, here's with it off. It just really softened everything up a little bit, and you know, added a little bit of blue tint into the highlights, and that's all I did really. And then on top of that, I added in some grain. I have a grain LUT here, not a grain LUT, but a grain pass. I just add that grain on, and it was like a little bit of filmic. You can bring in a little bit of dust and stuff like that on there. Right? Particles you can see here. That's all that did. I put that on there lightly on the top, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really do to my shots, you know, to get them to try to look like, you know, a film. And again, inside of I showed you the settings that I used inside of in MC Pro. I tried out this new City log. I tried that out, which I'm really happy the way that came out at night. And then again, I think I also turned off all my sharpening. I don't like the sharpening. That makes it just, you know, Hollywood movies are not super crispy sharp, you know, especially when you're trying to emulate film. So I turned off noise reduction, and I turned off sharpness. And the reason I turned off noise reduction, because I get a little bit of noise, and I kind of blend that in with the grain, and it just helps it make it look a little bit better. So, quick look at some of the posts on this. If you guys enjoy seeing these and want to see more like this, please let me know down in the description and in the comments. I keep saying the description, but anyways, enough of my jibber jabber. Patrick LeVar. Again, guys, you got to keep filming if you want to get better at your mobile photography, mobile filmmaking and stuff like that. I've been doing this for almost 4 or 5 years now, and I'm always filming every day. I mean, even if I don't post a lot of the stuff that I film, I'm still shooting or filming something, just because it's actually a habit now. So anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Patrick LeVar. Subscribe, like, jibba jabba. Peace.